Hello, hello, and welcome. We are 9 little Aussies living in the USA, building a home where we all belong. Where gardens are cultivated, real food is celebrated, agrarian living is reclaimed, where we choose to walk with wonder and faith, eyes wide open to the beauty of life. Where stories and rhyme are a tether that anchor our hearts to the ancient landmarks our fathers have left for our learning, and where all weary souls may find comfort and rest. It is a grand undertaking, perhaps, but a profoundly simple one. I invite you to join us as we reach for the stars with our feet firmly rooted in love and God's good earth. Hey there, my name is Chrissy. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm about to get started cooking dinner and I thought I would bring you along for a ride today because I'm about to make a very simple recipe that I've been sort of putting on repeat over the years. That we go through seasons where I kind of forget to do it and then I start cooking it again. It's a great recipe for when you want to feed a bunch of hungry people. It'll fill bellies, nourish bodies, and it doesn't cost too much. So the recipe I'm going to share with you today, I originally got from this recipe book, is the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, and it is called Cowboy Grub. I'm going to show you. I kind of deviate a little, but that's where I originally got the recipe. So if you have that, that's what it is. And if you are looking for it, that's where you can find it. There is actually a lot of really great recipes in this book. So if you know anything about Trim Healthy Mama, it's all about separating your fats and carbs. If that's of interest to you, you can go down that rabbit hole. You do not have to enjoy this meal. It is a really yummy, wonderful meal. And what I love about it, and the reason it has stayed in my repertoire, is because it is a really good meal on a low budget. It uses mincemeat or ground beef and brown rice, or you can use white rice. I like it with brown, but you can use either. And a few ingredients that I always have in my pantry. And they're not expensive, nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary, which honestly, that's the kind of recipe that I like to find. And when the family loves it, it stays on the menu. So I've told you that's the recipe comes from here. I sort of deviate from it a little bit according to what I have on hand at the time I'm cooking it in my kitchen. So I have the ground beef. We're going to start by browning that in a large skillet, and it's actually pretty quick to come together. Actually, a total lie. The first thing I'm going to do is cook the brown rice. I'm just going to use this aroma cooker that I picked up at, it was basically going at a garage sale. A friend was she was going to throw it out, and I said, no, don't throw that out. So we're going to use that and 2 cups of brown rice and 4 cups of water into that, and I'll just press the brown rice function. At the moment, in this season, we are getting our ground beef, our mincemeat at Sam's, and I will just divide that up. It's the cheapest way to get the mince, and I'll use about 1/4 of it for this meal. Okay, while I am at it and I'm waiting for that to warm up and start cooking, I'm going to divide this into 3 more sections, put it in some freezer bags, some old bags that I've saved to put in the freezer for another meal. I use, even at this isn't a lot of meat for a whole meal because we have a big family, and I'm frequently feeding anywhere from 9 to 12 people at a time. But I will use this meat and I'll bulk it out with veggies, and or beans and other things. Okay, so it calls for a seasoning blend, which is basically a mix of, that's what they call it when they do a mix of onions, capsicums, and celery. I don't have any capsicums, which you guys call bell peppers. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be different. I just automatically say capsicum because that's what they're called in Australia. So I don't have any bell peppers or capsicums in the fridge at the moment, but it's okay. This meal still works great just with, I've got a couple of sticks of celery and I do have a couple of onions, so I'm going to just dice those up for the next step. I actually had way more celery than this morning, but I have a couple of small people who love to munch on it, so we're down to 2, and this one looks like it's only half good, so maybe we're down to 1.5, but that's okay, it'll still be fine. So if you have more, you use more, but you know, it's fine to use what you have, and generally speaking, you can just adjust. We may add a little bit more. I might put some parsley in because I have that, and that'll add a little bit more flavor. So we're just going to brown that. It's about done now. All browned, no more red juices. And I'm going to drain off the fat. Okay, I'm just going to add the onion and celery. And if you were using bell peppers or capsicums, you'd put them in at this point. Okay, so we're just going to stir that in and let it cook a little. Okay, I'm actually going to transfer it into this Dutch oven because we are going to run out of space when I put in the other ingredients. I just wanted to show you, we're going to add in these spices, which is basically 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of mineral salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper freshly ground, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, which I have done just like a pinch because my little ones don't like it. You can add more or less just according to taste. So we're going to add that in a minute, but I'm going to transfer it over here. And then we're going to pop in, once you get to this stage and the rice is cooked, which it isn't quite, but it will be soon, it's just adding all the ingredients in and stirring it, and you're good to go. So I'm going to put a can of pinto beans, or you could cook them yourself from dried beans, would be even cheaper. Jess over on Farmer's Table has a really good video teaching you, stepping you through exactly how to do that. And the recipe originally calls for crushed tomatoes. I either use this tomato sauce, or in Australia I used to put passata in it, which I don't think you can get here. It's basically just like crushed tomatoes, but they've been pureed, maybe with a bit of salt. You can possibly find something like that here as well, because the only reason is I have a couple of little ones who do not like chunky bits of tomato in their dinner, but they're fine with it if it's pureed, so that's why I choose that. This has a few like chili powder, but it doesn't, and salt, organic red pepper, so it doesn't you know, it doesn't have anything in it that clashes with the flavors. And then the original recipe called for cans of corn. I usually tend to have frozen corn, so I'll add some of that instead, and then yeah, we'll be done very shortly. Okay, so you can see the onion and celery have started to sort of become translucent and soften. So we'll put in the spices. Oh, that smells good. I am going to just go and rinse these guys in a small colander under some water. And just put these beans in. Pour in some frozen corn. About that much, which I'm guessing is about, I don't know, can and a half worth. A lot of times when you are cooking a meal, it is the protein that is the most expensive part of the meal. And it's really important not to skip that. Our bodies need protein. We need protein for healing muscles, and our children certainly need it as they're growing. But you can stretch protein and use proteins that are a little bit cheaper. So ground beef or mincemeat is usually one of the cheaper forms of meat that you can get. And beans, the pinto beans, are a really good source of plant protein that we can add to give it a boost. And then anytime you're doing that, to fill it out with something like rice. And again, the brown rice is adding all kinds of good nutrition to their bodies. And you could also, so what we often do at the end, I and my hubby will have this like this, maybe with some coriander or cilantro and a dollop of Greek yogurt on top. The kids love it with grated cheese or sour cream on top, sometimes putting it in a wrap like a tortilla and making it into a sandwich type thing, like a wrap. So there's lots of different things you can do with it. You could have it with a salad on the side. It really is a nice, yummy, affordable meal. Okay, so this just beeped. I think it is ready. Oh, I should be careful how I do that. Got some yummy brown rice in there. I'm trying to hurry now because I have got bread rising that I have to shape into bread rolls and get in the oven as well. We've had quite a busy bake day here today. And the other good thing about this meal is that it's really quick and easy to sort of pull together. If you have some of these staple things in your pantry, then you just brown the meat, put the rice in the rice cooker, and then put it all together, mix it up, and it's ready to serve, really. I mean, you could also, I'm making some freshly milled whole grain, freshly milled bread rolls. Oh, my brain. Freshly milled bread rolls for our family for tomorrow, but they would also be really great as a side with this to sort of bulk out that meal again with another form of nutrition. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of brown rice, but you can amp that up. If you're stretching it and you need that rice, that meat to go further, just add more rice. You can totally do that. Add more beans, add more corn. Like, this is the base recipe, but you can do with it what you will. You can also add other vegetables. You could add grated or chopped carrot, zucchinis, cabbage, like whatever you happen to have, you could definitely add to it without a problem. Okay, so okay, so we've stirred in the rice and pretty much all the ingredients are in there now. Well, there you go. That is all served up. 1 bowl of Cowboy Grub, and I've just put a bit of yogurt and some coriander, or otherwise known as cilantro, on top. And it is so yummy. I actually can't wait to eat it. It smells delicious. But like I said, my kids really like it with grated cheese and sour cream. I mean, you can do what you want with it, but it is a wonderful way to feed your family on a small budget. Thanks for being with me today as we made some cowboy grub together. Let me know if you like it, if you try it. Let me know if you enjoyed it. And I will see you again really soon. Sunshine and raindrops, friends. Until then.